So today we're going to try to fix an issue with the pre-mill on the HolzHer Streamer 1054. The issue that we're having is that these pre-mills one of the pre-mills is not working properly. The first pre-mill is supposed to jump out before the part gets to it and be even with the second pre-mill. And about 1.5 inches before the part is done being pre-milled, it's supposed to drop back in and allow the second pre-mill to finish up the back end. And the reason for that is so that it doesn't chip out the edge banding on the front and back side of the part if you're doing a door or something like that. So it is not jumping, it's just staying out the entire time. And that is causing chip out on the back section of edge banding, and so we're going to try to fix that. So in order to understand what's wrong, we need to sort of first understand how this works. As a part travels from the front of the Edgebander, where my hand is, through the track, it will trigger these switches along the way, which are going to activate different stations. This switch right here is the S5 switch. When that trigger is activated, it will send out a signal, and when it's deactivated, it will send out a signal. And what it's going to be sending a signal to is right here on the valve island. This thing here is called the valve island. It's going to be sending an electrical signal to this solenoid valve. And that electrical signal is going to translate into this valve opening and closing these two air lines here. And so when the valve is triggered, or when the switch is triggered, it should be sending air through here. And when it closes, it should switch and send the air back to here. Now what that does is those air lines run back over to the actual mechanism. Let's see if I can get a decent... Okay, those air lines are running over to this cylinder, and you can see them right here. One of these air lines, when it's pressured up, will push this pre-mill forward. That one works fine. This back one will cause the pre-mill to come back. That's the one that's not working. So we're gonna go ahead and try to figure out what's going on. Okay, this is the solenoid valve that we're going to replace. And it's the top one. And because of that, this little door is hinged on it. So we wanna make sure the power is completely off, which it is. And we're gonna go ahead and just unscrew the two screws that hold the solenoid valve into the valve island. Just like that. And then this guy just pops off, kind of unclips. A little more on that screw. And that's it. We just want to replace this guy right here, put it right back in the same orientation as it was before. I'm going to go grab the new part. Okay, so this is the new part. This is the old part, and the new part came with these 4 little rubber seals, 2 big ones, 2 little ones. And I did notice that on the back of the old one, there is a seal here and a seal here, and 2 small seals right here. And if you look at the new part, it does not have those seals on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put those seals on, assuming they're supposed to go on there. Just going to press them on so that it looks like how the old one looked. screwdriver. There we go. I'm going to put the two little ones on. And again, I'm just going to use a little screwdriver to set those down. Press them into place. And this is pretty easy. All I have to do is pop this guy back into place. However, I do see that this old one has this little retainer for the door, and I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get that guy off. So that I can put it on the new one and have that little door still operate properly. So it turns out the best way to get this guy off is just to put your screwdriver right in there and kind of pry it off. It seems to just sort of press fit onto two little notches on these two outside portions. So I'm just gonna take that off and pop it right onto the new one. Okay. Go ahead and put that in place. Get my door pivot on and press it into place, and then tighten these screws. Tighten that one a little bit. Tighten that one all the way. Tighten that one all the way. Okay, I'll close that back up. We're going to save this old solenoid valve. Assuming I'm correct that it's not functioning anymore, it might still be good to just take it apart and see how it works. So I decided the best way to actually test this is, rather than disconnecting the lines at the solenoid valve, I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect the lines here at the actual air cylinder, because they're the same lines. So I should be able to see everything that I could see over there from here. And this is much closer to the switch. So I've got the Edgebander heated up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Right now, I should be getting air pressure to this front line, which would be sending that first pre-mill out that direction. So if I take this line off, I should be getting air. I'm not. Okay, maybe I should be getting air once I trip the S5 switch. Let's test it and see. Yes, I am. Okay, so that actually works. Apparently it should only be turning on when that switch is triggered. So if I trigger this, the pre-mill should move forward. And I'm seeing that happen. You can't see it, but I can see it from above. And when I release that switch, the pre-mill should move back. So when that switch is released, I should get air out of here. I might even be getting air out of here right now. Yeah, I am. But that should turn off. There we go. It is working properly. So when S5 is triggered, this front line gets air pressure, moves the pre-mill forward. When S5 goes back, this rear line is triggered and moves the pre-mill back. It's all working properly now. We're good to go.